unhappy. You feel like a hater.
I don't like her tone.
I wish you would tell Margaret to shut the up.
That's not a nice person.
There's no door, asshole.
You're gonna respect me more than that.
Everyone's got skeletons. Don't even go with it. We're gonna go get there.
Hey, Ronnie Jr. Welcome.
All right. Intro, production value, Real Housewives of New Jersey, the recap. A season that we love. A little R&R. Why is that? Russell, Ron, randomly. We're smart. I love the episode though. Season 13, episode 11. Although it was in the middle, so it almost felt like a little bit of filler.
It did feel like a filler episode, and I was like, well, how much are we going to get out of this?
There were parts I liked for sure, and there was parts that felt redundant. I like Jennifer Fessler kind of giving us little bits throughout the show. I don't know. That was kind of cool to me.
I love that as well. Hey, everybody. Welcome back, by the way. We are in Real Housewives of New Jersey recap, a little R&R with Russell Ray and Ronnie Jr. This is episode 13. I'm sorry, season 13, episode 11. And we are going to recap. It looks like we already got a comment from Corey Polk. What's the next show you all will be doing? Well, actually, Ronnie's working on a couple projects. I don't know. We can't really mention it. But
Lots of stuff, yeah.
It's around. Speaking of projects, you can actually find Ronnie Jr. weekdays on the Jonesy shows on the block. 94.7 Jonesy in the morning with randomly Ronnie Jr. giving all the tea in reality and pop culture.
You're very kind, but I'm more like, you know, in Housewives they have friend of. I'm like the friend of a friend of. I'm part of it a little bit, and I have fun. And when I come in and talk, it's good. But yeah, it's more chill vibes. But yeah, shout out to her, Miss Jones, Jonesy in the morning. And I always say, what's good about that is if you're a New Jersey fan and you love all these cast members, like the frequency is the tri-state area. So it's New York City, it's Connecticut, it's New Jersey. So in theory, I could say, Danielle, what are you doing on this damn show? Why are you choosing every decision the wrong one, you know? But it's fun. Thank you for mentioning that. And you're a superstar too. Can I say it? Should I say it?
Go for it.
Okay, so listen. I got into my Wendy Williams voice. Listen. Russell Ray is not just here on the YouTube, in the YouTube streets, of course, but and then he has his jet-setting job and he's busy all over. But on the Peacock streaming platform, if you've ever wanted to go back and watch old Real Housewives of New Jersey episodes, like while you're on Peacock, why don't you go check out the show called Create the Escape, where Russell is a design expert and a series host, one of three. This show is like an escape room. There's families that are put together, and it's very competitive, but it's very fun and wholesome TV. Which, by the way, we need that in the world right now. Yeah,
we do need. It's a little positive, positive vibes, but a little bit of competition at the same time. We all like to compete against our parents. Anyways,
I'm wondering if there's a word of the day because I do have a drink.
There is a word of the day. Our word of the day is Arsenal. If you hear this word, take a drink of your cocktail or your sparkling Izzy. If drink of preference, it's the morning. Who cares? It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Live your life. Enjoy yourself. Going right into it. Look, speaking of drinks, can we talk about Girls Night Out? How all of a sudden we're having these full-grown women who are like heading into their 50s or are already 50 doing college chugs with beers at the pubs in Ireland. I was beside myself because I support it, but at the same time, I was a little taken back because I was not expecting this. Also, props to Jackie, like killed it. What did you think? And we're also going to talk more about what's going on in the pub.
Oh, yes, yes. I think what I loved about it is that even while I get older, I was just having this conversation with someone recently. I feel like I drink a little less than I used to. Like
Yes.
if I need to, and if it's a party, if it's a reason, like of course we're drinking, but I just don't do it as much. And I feel like going to Ireland, of course, there's so much drama and stress between this wedding, and then the Teresa and Melissa, and Danielle's got her issues with Rachel. Something about it really did feel fun, and I know that a lot of people have this issue with like, well, Jackie, just mind your business. You're just a limited role on this show. But my thing is this: even if you're a limited role and you see a point to have fun, and you're in Ireland, like, when in Rome, when in Ireland, you got to go for the jugular. And I just don't subscribe to the notion that Jackie is boring. And I thought that was a really good scene. I think Melissa making the little college girl joke was funny, tongue in cheek. And I just also realized that not only am I a drinker, but I'm also in my green today for Ireland, I suppose. So I'm really embodying the episode, Russ.
Look, sorry. I was thinking of some things going on right now. Look, I housewife stresses me out sometimes. Can I just say that? Because I don't know if they want to be friends, if they don't want to be friends. They're here at the bar, they're all chugging. Also, like, it's a bachelorette party. We all know bachelorettes and bachelors get crazy and they do their thing for their last hurrah. So I was expecting a little bit more fun, a little bit more flirty, a little bit more, but like not pounding and chugging beer.
Well, how can you? You got here's what to your question, and you make a really good point. To your point here. How can it be that exciting if the person who we're celebrating is Teresa? Like Teresa, she doesn't show up present in the scene for whatever reason. She only wants to talk about, I want to see Louis, I want to see Louis, I want to see Louis.
Yeah.
Pineapple this, pineapple that, which is her funny joke. It's so funny. So funny. And then the last thing is in the confessional, she says, oh, I'm not really like, a beer drinker. I'm sort of above that, which, by the way, I never have a problem. You always know from this show, I never have a problem of somebody being a little bougie or above something. But this is your get together. It's surrounded within you. And it's just such a for the Melissa versus Teresa fans. If you're a Melissa fan, you're like, there's no way on earth if we were celebrating anything with Melissa or Marge or Jackie or Dolores, it would be fun. Teresa just doesn't give us fun, and that's all I got to say about it. She just doesn't.
She doesn't. She gives us married and living in the back country in the Midwest. not in a bad way, because there are some good Midwestern states and like good Midwestern areas. But she's giving me like front porch, rocking on her rocker chair, not really much going on, crocheting this t-shirt that I'm wearing. Like it's very, I'm like, come on, Teresa. What happened to the old Teresa? Let me get the old Teresa who would throw things. Like, not that I love when people throw things, but like, as long as it's not at anybody, if you want to flip a table, like flip the table. If you want to punch the wall, punch the wall. It makes great TV because you're like, you know what I'm saying? You crazy.
Do you I do have a moment of Teresa, because I gotta say it how I feel. So those were the parts I didn't enjoy, but there was a part of Teresa in this episode that I did enjoy. So we'll hold that for a moment, because I was shocked that I was like compassionate for her and really feeling her just on one moment, but we'll get there. So there's no rush.
Okay, I mean, let's talk about how they rallied. I was so surprised that they were rallying like this. I am 31 years old. My knees don't do like that. My liver don't do like that. My water consumption doesn't do like that. So the fact that they were rallying.
Well, first of all, here's what Russell's doing wrong. You're putting too much on age. Age ain't nothing but a number. But I will tell you, not that I should be saying all of the stuff, but let's just say there was a time in the recent proximity of time where like Russell is, oh, we're gonna go out, and so like the timing was all different, and it was funny because Russell, who was young, I believe you guys wrapped up early, and I was like kind of thinking it would be a later thing. So I was in my mentality of like New York City where the bars are open till 4. So yeah, it's funny. I'm older and so slow for the most part, but when I want to go, sometimes you want to go. So I remember texting like, oh, is everyone still, you guys still at the spot? And Russell's like, nah, we've been closed up forever.
We've been home.
And I'm thinking like
shop.
I'm like ready to get there at the 1 a.m. hour, where stuff really happens, So anyways, it's not about us, but I'm just saying like that's funny because I'm probably like 12 years older, 10 years older than Russell. And I typically am a homebody. Like I love watching Saturday Night Live on Saturday, like a grandmother. But when push come to shove, just like these ladies in Ireland, I don't want to use the word, but sometimes you got to turn up. And I love that they did it. And it was so funny that they were rallying, like you said, and everyone was excited. And then all of a sudden it was like, okay, and once we go back, we're going to go to the next spot, which is what you do. And then they all fell asleep. To me, that was all I needed. It was the humor that makes sense to me.
It's funny because I actually have that as the next slide is Van Ride Sleepies because they were like, let's rally. But here's the thing. If anyone hasn't been to an international country, like I've been to very limited ones, but countries that have actual history and things that they take care of, like their castles and their, the old mansions that were built by hand and, buildings and structures and those type of things. There's not as much development, meaning it's not overly saturated like America is when you come to Los Angeles, when you go to New York, when you go to Chicago, when you go to Miami. Like everything is very saturated. You don't see any greenery, barely see any trees. It's a lot of concrete. It's a lot of buildings, a lot of houses. So when you go to a place like Ireland, London, Paris, you're driving for like miles on end in order to get to the destinations that you need to be. And yes, those are populated and those are developed and have buildings, but they're sporadic and far in between because you get to enjoy the natural landscape because there's so much history in that landscape. So the fact that they fell asleep, that's really funny because it's at least a 30 to 45 minute ride from where they were going to where they were coming from. And
that sounds like a beautiful ride too. If it is the nature and stuff like that, I like that.
Well, have you ever ridden in a Sprinter van?
For a production, yeah.
Sprinter vans can be so comfortable if they're laid out correctly. And let me tell you, it's just like being on a plane. And if there's turbulence with a little bit of red wine, it just rocks you right to sleep. And I know
they were
scared
drunk,
of flying, but let me tell you, a little bit of red wine and turbulence, I'm like,
they were drunk. Yes.
I was more concerned too, as much as they drank, because they were taking shots too, that nobody threw up. I was like,
yeah.
Someone must have had Pedialyte in their bag.
Yeah, maybe.
Because that was wild. But also during the night, we noticed that Rachel and Danielle kind of made up a little bit. Or they just kind of let bygones be bygones and they enjoyed the night, which I appreciated. Because when it comes to the drama, no one cares about it. Like you're in a new country, you're there to have a good time. I do like the fact that like they were talking about Gotham City at one point and goblins. And they didn't say leprechauns.
Oh, is that what that's what they meant? Yes.
I think that's what they meant. They meant leprechauns instead of goblins, but maybe they were thinking Lord of the Rings and where it was shot, but it also doesn't relate to the culture. I'm like,
I know Margaret made the Teresa and Melissa are so similar, meaning they're not like the brightest. I'm like, oh, it's a funny joke, so I'll as a Melissa fan, I'll take it. But oh, how dare you? Melissa is spry, witty, fun. But yes, Teresa does struggle quite a bit. So it was a funny joke, and I will take it because she called it. She said goblins thinking, or Gotham thinking goblins, and it wasn't even goblins. So you're right. Yes, it was all over.
I have to ask you because it's been a week of a lot of news going on in the Bravoverse.
Oh,
what did you think about the Did you not hear?
I feel like I literally had a conversation recently where I was not a conversation, but I was trying to figure out other things that I would be adding to, like, well, I might as well advertise.
Uh-huh.
YouTube.com/randomlyRJ Jr. And I don't know if it's because I got enough, as I said, stuff going on.
Uh-huh.
Things are going on. I'm very busy. I got stuff going on, and I'm like trying to find like news stories, I guess, or like pop culture news stories. I even referred to Corey, who's in our live chat, and I don't even know. It's like I can't find news stories. So what you're gonna tell me is definitely gonna be a surprise. Go for it.
Oh my goodness. Oh wait, that was the wrong one. It's supposed to be this one.
I got a drink.
Bravo fans, Melissa Gorga is under fire after Bravo fans accused her of being sassy with Andy Cohen in Watch What Happens Live, following last week's episode, mentioning that she underhandedly told Andy Cohen that he wasn't a counselor, but he came back with, after 17 bleeping years, think that he knows what he's doing. And Melissa actually asked him, do you have counseling credentials? And Bravo fans ate her up. And they speculated that Teresa and Joe will be fired next season because Teresa
not Teresa
film with them.
You said Teresa and Joe? Melissa and Joe.
Melissa and Joe. Sorry. Melissa and Joe will be fired next season because Teresa does not want to film with them. Do you think that that holds any weight?
I think it is just so. I feel like the way even you phrased it there shouldn't necessarily be like fans were thinking this about her. It was like people who rock with Teresa and cannot, like, they are on. They're like fans, actually. They're on bated breath for everything that Melissa says. It's like, how corny are you? I said it time and time again. I'm a Melissa Gorga fan, heavy all day, every day. But I don't care about Teresa. Teresa fans, like, they just get such an excitement over Melissa. And here's the other thing. To the question, we chatted about this last week. I said, did we chat about it? Maybe this might have been just not on the show. Maybe I just was texting with you. But it was the concept, like, I'm doubling down the other way. How about that? She was this. She was, I don't know if they're insinuating she was bitchy, whatever. Do you? And again, we're going to go off like kind of me and Russell, and where, we're both Californians originally. I spent quite a bit of time in New York, stayed there for about 7 years on and off. I bask in real honest communication right to your face. This is what it is. In other words, Melissa will go, here I go. I got to slow it down. Here he goes. Loving Melissa. Ow. No. Here's the thing though. Like, she is honest communication. People get excited. They get passionate. I guess that's why I feel really comfortable in New York. It's like when people do the thing where, like, oh, well, Marge did this to you, so Melissa, you should hate her. It's like, no, I don't. Or, Jackie, what do you think? Because Melissa said this, or Jackie said this about this one. Like, people talk, they're aggressive, they have a big point of view. So he's throwing all these and this is Andy. He's throwing these, and I'll wrap it up right here, these asinine questions to her, and they're not even that original or brilliant. They're more like someone on his production staff went to Twitter and wanted to get that, like, the big buzzy words or whatever.
Yeah.
So sorry, am I too much?
No, go ahead.
So he comes at her with that. Like, at least be a journalist and come at her with your own stuff. He comes at her with that. And I'm not saying he's not a good broadcaster. He is. But he comes with that real, well, people are saying, blah, blah, blah. Well, what are you saying, Andy? So then she says, well, how do you even know? This is what we're dealing with. We've shown ourselves for 13 years. Are you a counselor? If she would have said shut up, I'd have no problem. This is how I eat. You know what I mean? Like, I like a passionate person. Stop with the woo and the sad. You just don't like Melissa. That's what it is. So shut up. She's the most gorgeous. She's the most witty. She bodied last episode. She did. She was very quick. Oh my God, I got to stop. Russell, I got to stop. Russell, I have to stop. Go ahead.
Well, moving on to a lighter note, as Jen Fessler mentioned, how she had a little fun with Tony Soprano.
Yeah, last week she mentioned that. This week she mentioned, which I love the duality.
Wait. Here's the tea, though. Teddy Mellencamp from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills mentioned that she had a one-night stand with Matt Damon. Like, how it's very trendy when one says something other ones start to come out the woodworks.
Yeah.
And Teddy mentioned this, and I was like, who else is going to come out of the woodwork? Like, what other housewives are going to come out and mention that they've been with these A-list celebrities?
Mhm.
So there's that. But also, there's a couple of jackholes this week
Mhm.
that are coming after Heather Dubrow. One of them being Tamra Judd from the Real Housewives of Orange County. Apparently, she's gone wild on Heather Dubrow and her return to the Real Housewives of Orange County. The other one is Kelly Dodd bashing Heather Dubrow, saying that her kids are confused because she looks like a man. Look, we are in a time and age where that is not okay. Not that it was okay before. It is supposed to, calling anybody a man, calling anybody, especially because Heather Dubrow now has a trans child, calling anybody these things is just not going to stand. So I'm calling for Andy Cohen and Bravo to get rid of Kelly Dodd in general. Do not.
Well, I think they work with her already.
Do not bring her. Do not ever include her on anything ever again. Get rid of her. She is done. Anybody that gay bashes, trans bashes, I feel like that was a trans bash towards Heather Dubrow, saying that she looks like the Budweiser influencer that's under fire right now with Republicans for being trans. It's not working.
You follow the news more than I do because I'm like, what is all happening? I'm going to say this, though. One thing about Kelly Dodd is I never watched the show, so I don't really know the impact that she made when she was on the show. I know that she was always a little bit of a pot stirrer. The one intriguing and interesting thing is...
Mind you, her husband was in on this as well.
Oh, sorry, I cut you off, I guess.
No, sorry. Like, I forgot to mention that, but her husband was up on this as well, so her husband needed to get slapped. Continue.
Russell in a celebrity boxing match against Rick Leventhal? Okay, I will be the agent.
Baby.
I want my 10, 15...
Did you see that?
25%.
Oh, wait, hold on.
I heard and I heed all the things you said. I want to just talk about what's interesting about this perspective, and we'll get back to Jersey in a moment. But what's interesting about this, and I guess it's there's no what's the answer to the question even. She's not with Bravo at the moment, and to many
moment, but Ultimate Girls Trip is known to like bring everybody back.
I don't know that she's actually coming back. I think there's a part of her that would like to come back, and I think there's a part of her. This is the other interesting thing that we just have to acknowledge, not like yay, but acknowledge she does represent a kind of person within the fan base, and I think she sort of maneuvers that in a really strategic way, because Rick Leventhal is also, I mean, gosh, he's been a top tier journalist for years. I've taken a look and listened at their show. They are very good, but then there's those times where I don't know if they're crossing these lines to be polarizing, to go viral. So that's like the part about it that I don't like. Like in terms of just being tough about it and like having advocacy to the actual issue at hand, like I always have wonderful advocacy to what you were talking about. I think the bigger thing is it's tough actually. So I was gonna like really stand on a point, but it is a tough thing because what I'm saying is they are not in a position where they can be taken away from the show. Like they've created their own thing, and they're very similar to a lot of people. So there is an option that the network would maybe bring her back, but half the things she says could just be trolling. I mean, it could be that. It's tough.
I think that she needs to get canceled. Point blank, period. I don't like her. I don't like her husband. Look, as a husband, and I grant you, like, there's comments that some of the husbands have said on the show that can kind of come and go and fly because it's part of the narrative. It works. But when you're attacking somebody based off their appearance in representation to a trans individual, that's a problem. And just like I said from our former president, sometimes you need to get chin checked. And I don't think he was ever chin checked, which is why he acts the way that he does. So I'm still waiting on that day to somebody chin check him. And when it happens, I will be there, and I will be there in my little crowd. we will troll him.
Okay, we have moved on to a different kind of show.
In other news,
I'm like, I haven't even heard the
is-
comments.
It is game time.
And that saved everything. I was like, I didn't even see Kelly Dodd, but yeah, it's I'm glad you
Ronnie,
made mention.
You are the contestant. Are you ready for? Oh wait, I didn't upload the banner.
Okay,
Hold on.
ready or not? Ready
Or not? Here I come. You
Mhm.
can't hide. It is called.
Okay, well, I'll say something in the
I'm
meantime.
so embarrassed.
No, it's okay. So the one thing you'll want to do is just if you can, because these YouTube channels, trying to grow, and not even having the affordability of having like this household name. If you like the good content, like what Russell brings, like what I bring, yes, give the likes on the episodes and the comments and subscribe. I mean, I'm not really a person who even likes to say that, but because I come from old school radio where it's like let the work speak for yourself. But to the point that we were just making, whatever side you stand on a certain thing, if you want to see more of something like what we do, which is a really great recap, then you have to support it, because this is what we're going up against. All these shit show type stuff that's out there, like some of the stories Russell mentioned. It's like you're sort of having to compete with that. So to support ours, what we're doing, just please throw that like and comment and subscription, because it would be very helpful. That's it.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Ronnie Jr., we are downloading. The suspension is building about where you are going with this game, because we know, Ronnie Jr., that you love a good game and you love to be put in the hot seat. We are about.
Do I have a prize? Do I have a prize? I would like to say that I would like my prize to be. I think I'm ready for like a little nip tuck, like a little like a little chin implant. Yeah, that's I think what's next. That's the prize I'm giving myself, whether or not you've decided it.
This just stressed me out so much. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Ronnie Jr., are you ready for housewife or hot mess? I'm going to bring up several slides.
That was such a hot mess. I feel like we have to like take a beat. Hold on, I'm gonna take a little drink of water. Take a beat. Take a beat, and I want us to start over. Is that okay? I mean, I don't want to tell you what to do.
Yes.
Well, because we're gonna start over, and here we go. Coming up, the best recap ever, which just went off the rails today. Coming up in 3.
It did.
2,
sorry about that, y'all.
1. Screw it, we're not perfect. Russell, back to you.
Ronnie Jr., it is game time, and it is time for housewife or hot mess.
Housewife or hot mess. Oh, we got a
I'm going to show you
voiceover.
several slides. They are going to start off blurred. Then you have the opportunity to guess if it's a housewife or if it's a hot mess. If you are correct, you will get a... if you are incorrect, you'll get... and thrown off the show.
Okay, so this is like my last broadcast.
Life or death.
Okay, so I'm going for all the ding.
Yes,
ding.
you're
Okay,
going for ding, ding.
okay.
Okay.
I got it.
First up, Ronnie Jr., is this a housewife or is this a hot mess?
Can the word be used in a sentence? No. What clarifies? I should have asked this before. What? I got to go back to my water. What? Oh, I mean alcohol. What clarifies a hot mess? You can't tell me now. We're in the game.
Yes, I can. So hot mess meaning like it's not a housewife. It's someone that is just out and messy.
Oh, so
you know,
okay. I got
it's
Tara Reid in the heyday of Perez
yes,
Hilton.
Yes,
got it.
yes,
Okay,
something like that.
Okay, can we see the photo one more time?
Yes.
Okay, it's not Melissa Gorga and it's not Jackie, but it's a hot mess. That's a housewife though. Is that possible?
No.
Because I think it's Brandy Glanville. So technically she's not a housewife. So at the moment,
Okay.
I'll go my first guess, hopefully I don't get thrown off the show, is hot mess. Go.
It's actually Jackie.
No, I don't want to be. I don't want to. Now that I have an uphill battle to get a good percentage on this game. Okay, keep going. Ugh.
Ronnie Jr. up next. Is this a housewife or is this a hot mess?
Okay. It's not Dolores, but it feels like it could be Dolores, but then it could be like Snooki from Jersey Shore, although that is a little bit of a slenderer look for Snooki, but I would assume it, knowing you would say Snooki, like your mind would say Snooki has hot mess in her DNA. She's grown up and evolved, but I think it's Snooki and I think it's hot mess. Let's go.
It's Teresa.
What in the just terrible game this is.
0-2.
I'm walking
All
away
right,
with
Ronnie
no money.
Jr. Up next. Is this a housewife or is this a hot mess?
Okay. No, this is like a Bratz doll or something like this. But oh no, not a but. It's not a housewife. Oh, but it could be a housewife, like a doll of a housewife. No, but the hair is distressed. Finally, I get it right. Finally, clap it up, everybody.
It's hot mess Barbie.
Round of applause. Round of applause.
Ronnie Jr. coming up next. Okay, so you're 1-2 right now. Is this next person a housewife or a hot mess?
I don't think you know the answer. This is giving me 2005, 2006, but then it's also maybe like Jenna Ortega. But do we consider Jenna Ortega a hot mess? I don't think so. I think she's like kind of bold, but we don't think she's hot mess. This is God, it's so tough. Put it up one more time.
One more time? Okay.
There's no hints to be had, huh?
Nope.
It looks.
You're just guessing based off the blurred photo. If this is a glamorous person or if it's a hot mess person. Glamorous being, is it one of the housewives in their dolled up days, or is this a hot mess because, baby, you could never be a housewife?
I feel like somebody did rock that off the shoulder little look. So I was gonna go with hot mess, but we're gonna go with housewife, and I'm gonna be correct. Thanks.
It's a hot mess.
Damn. I felt like, didn't Bethany Frankel wear that look before?
You know what? To be fair, that's exactly what I was going for. I was trying to make it tough. So I was thinking Skinny Girl Martini, which is why I chose that photo. All right.
I thought that was Kyle. Can you go back to the photo real quick? Oh, see, that's a housewife. That's Kyle Richards. That's who that looks just like her. Yeah. Okay. 3 more. Let's go.
That's Kyle Richards. Up next, Ronnie Jr. Is this a housewife or a hot mess?
That is a housewife, and that is a good leg. That's Melissa Gorga.
Hey, Ronnie Jr.
Boom. Always ride for on display, the icon. Yep,
I will say that was very good. The fact that you pinpointed everything, so you are a true Melissa stan. 2 more. Here we go. Okay, so you're what? You're 2-3 right now.
How about if you would have put a Melissa picture up, and I would have called her a hot mess? That would have been.
I would have sent it to her.
No, it would have been out of context, and then that would have been our viral moment.
All right, up next, Ronnie Jr. Is this a housewife or a hot mess?
This is a housewife. It is not Adriana. I should have asked if it could be all franchises. That should have been very helpful. It could be Adriana. It could be Leah.
It's just they're all Jersey or nothing.
Well, that might change the things. Can it be Jersey that was past, like not off the show now?
It could be, yeah.
Okay, I think it's somebody from off the show, like did like a little glamour shot who's not typically glamorous. I think it was that. So we're gonna go with housewife.
It's a hot mess.
I mean, I've been demoted. I got all frustrated when he asked me a question about what did I think about the fans saying Melissa to Andy. I'm over here like, well, Kelly Dodd, Rick Leventhal, like, oh my goodness, this was just not the day. This was not. I was.
Last but not least, and this is your rebuttal point. This will give you all of them correct and all forgiven, and you can remain on the show. Is this a housewife, Ronnie Jr., or a hot mess?
That's a scene. That's a scene from the show. But it could be hot mess. No, we are doing a Real Housewives recap for Jersey, season 13, episode 11. Russell, the smarts of him. We're going out with Jersey. It's a housewife. Double or nothing, triple or nothing. Let's get it.
It's the cast of Jersey Shore.
That technically is still. That's not technically still reality Jersey. No. Oh gosh. They're all housewives.
To be fair,
They are all three of them are all. Well, I don't know if Jenny's married. I won. Thank you for playing.
What's all that matters is that you got this one correct.
I mean, no wonder Nick felt the way he felt. No, and Joe, we love Melissa, and we're done with that. But no, just that was tough. I had a pretty big struggle. I did really bad, and now I feel like I shouldn't talk as bold as I usually do.
To be fair, I tried to make it tough, and like I was really excited about this game because I knew it was gonna be tough.
Gosh, I need a nap now. I'm so tired. Thank you, though.
God, my cheeks hurt from like smiling so much.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay, moving on to the morning after.
Mm-hmm.
Blood pudding. Would you try it? Would you not try it? How did you feel about the ladies' reactions to the blood pudding in Ireland?
Well, first thing I was gonna say is I think these scenes were too quick. Everything was just like happening. I was like, what is this TikTok television? Like,
it was very moving.
Let's let something be cohesive. Like whoa. And then the second thing I was gonna say is what in the innuendo is going on. So I was ooh ah. You know, if you know kind of moment. But in terms of your question, I do think that when you do travel and when you travel to a different country and there's so much respect within that, you should at least try your best. You know, you don't like what you don't like, but I think you should try to embrace what is something within that culture. So I probably would have been into it. Yeah.
I feel the same way. And here's why. You don't know what you don't know. And so you're not going to know if you like it or you like the flavor of it or the texture or consistency until you actually taste it. Look, when I went to Paris, I never in a million years would I have thought I would have tried escargot, and I did. And I'm glad that I did. It was very good. The consistency was great. The texture was great. And then here's the best part. You get the bread that they put on the table because it's in so much garlic butter, the escargot. After you eat the escargot, you put the shell to the side, you take the bread, you dip it in the little pot where the garlic butter is, and then you eat it, and you got garlic bread, and it is amazing.
I think that's exactly how you do it. Yeah.
But I will say I was a little kind of like, I was thrown a little bit by the way that they kind of just dismissed it on the show. Like, I wouldn't try this. And it's like, we have to remember, like, Jersey, New York, even California, San Francisco, it's very much a melting pot. So this is how we all came about in today's society, is we all kind of infused our flavors and different ideas. And you know, there's Italian, is it blood sausage? I think my grandmother used to make it for me, and it's just a thing. You try it, you make it happen. But I was a little not disappointed, but I wish they would have embraced it a little bit more, or said, you know, blood pudding, it doesn't sit right with me because I faint at the sight of blood anyways. But I did try these three things out here in Ireland, and I loved it.
Yeah, you're right. Like, you don't have to like it, but to react so negatively of like what is something important of others. I mean, we eat menudo. It's like, what part of that? I don't even know what part of the body that is. You know,
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like so but people have different things. So I just feel like you're losing an opportunity if you don't do that.
And to be fair, those of you who have not tried menudo, that part that we're talking about, the tripe, that just sucks in all the flavor. It just has all the flavor. Even if you don't eat it, just get the flavor out of it.
He would say sucks. Ooh.
Did I just set myself up?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I have been so embarrassed by this episode. So I was like, can I bring him into my misery? I shouldn't have done that.
That's fair. Look, I didn't mean to embarrass you. I just, I like my games. Well, this will probably not make it to the YouTube in our shorts or in our TikTok, Instagram. It probably won't.
If you got it
I'll
here,
edit it so that it looks a lot better.
Okay. So it should have some reaction shots. Oh, wait.
Like,
oh my gosh. This episode was compelling. You put all that together, you're like, whoa, what?
I really put a lot of work into that too. I spent like 2 hours making that game yesterday.
Clap it up, clap it up, clap it
up. Hoping that you were going to get it right.
And I thought I was gonna get it right. Okay, we got to move on. We do got to get going. But that was fun. Thank you.
I do want to talk about the cousin rivalry, and by cousin rivalry, I mean Teresa and Melissa putting the kids against each other. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I understand to each their own, and they should protect their moms, of course, always, first and foremost. Do I think Melissa's innocent in this situation when it comes to the cousin rivalry or like the cousins not being a part of each other's lives? I don't think she's 100% innocent. I don't think Teresa's innocent. I do think that they both have their parts in it. And I think it really showed in this episode that they both kind of have their underlying parts, because Teresa was right. Melissa could have taken Antonia to Gia's party for the 1 hour, even if it wasn't where, even if it was where they were at, even if you're driving from San Diego to Los Angeles, you can make it out there because, and that's the thing, this is going to come after you later. So just do it, make it happen, bite the bullet. That way you don't have to hear about it later.
Or make the mention too. We can't come because of this. When it's not mentioned, it gives room for the interpretation to be tit for tat or whatever. Even though what she was saying, Teresa, wasn't necessarily tit for tat. So I did appreciate Melissa saying, no, I'm just saying factual stuff. You're the one who's taking it more emotional and making it tit for tat. That was the Teresa part that I didn't like. Real quick, just because we are rushing through the episode here. I don't know where this fit in, if it fit in right here. So hopefully I'm not jumping the gun. But the part of Teresa that I enjoyed on this episode was not this part, but the part where even before that, was it before? Well, anyway, she was talking about like just that maneuver and the situation she had going through her situation, and then her ex-husband, went through a situation. And I love seeing the flashbacks. I love even seeing her when they did the flashback where she didn't know. I think she said, I figured I'd go visit him. If there was still something there, there would be. And if there wasn't, there wasn't. This is that Teresa is a very like someone we want to enjoy and support, because, it's just so easy for anyone like us to just be sitting on the couch eating bonbons, watching, and then, they're really going through those things. And I think that's a very true to life experience when any relationship, but probably so much more with your daughters. And what you're gonna do in that situation. When I used to watch this show during that time, I didn't ever think she was gonna get over Joe, and not over him, but like codependent on the life that they built and where they were going. So in many ways, the new relationship is good. I don't really feel like Louis the right one, but that's a whole different story. So I really loved to see that. Didn't love the kids being brought up. I think the kid thing is a little bit challenging. Russell, I'll wrap here. Sorry. The kid thing is challenging because I hate to say it, but once you bring Gia into the show to have like snarky confessionals and all that stuff, then it's like, I don't really know what you want. Like, does Antonia even want? I mean, she loves her cousin, but do they want to even be around all that energy? So that was a weird thing about bringing Gia into the show and being very sassy. And you've never seen it vice versa, really. I mean, I know the kids are a lot younger, but you've never heard like Antonia say, "Well, my aunt is this and that." Like, it's just they just don't do that. They worry about themselves. The Gorgas are busy.
True. There's something to be said about that. That's very true. And I think when it comes down to the way you raise your kids are going to represent themselves the way that you've taught them how to represent themselves, and the way that you act. They're going to mimic these things. We see it in lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, we see it in these things. And we also see it in the way that people are raising their kids. And so I don't appreciate it. I also appreciated, though, when Melissa said that she almost was tempted to tell Teresa she just wants to cut the cancer out. And I was like, that would be such a flex full circle moment. And then flash forwarding into next week when she calls Joe and they're talking about they might not go to the wedding and Melissa doesn't want to play the game. Here's the thing, and I want everybody to hear this very loud and clearly. Sometimes it's necessary to play the game to keep the peace. It's not going to take much out of you to show up to a wedding and to leave early because you feel sick. It's not that hard. It's really not. It's not that hard. You're part of the show. You can't not film with each other. You can't not make this happen. You should have shown up just to, again, avoid the confrontation of being called out on something that is misinterpreted or just being a plain out a-hole.
You're talking about that engagement party that Joe didn't show up to and Melissa showed up to, or you're talking about the wedding?
Getting the
You're
phone
about
call
the wedding
from Joe saying that she next week, saying that she doesn't want to go, might not go to the wedding, and that Joe believes Teresa's pushing them out. Anyways, I think they made the wrong mistake by not showing up. I think sometimes cold is better.
My question: you're saying knowing that they didn't show up.
Yes.
Which is what I don't love about the show. We already know where it ends. Now where it might get confusing and different, and I can see that point because I think the same. Like if I'm going to be a Melissa fan, I got to be equal in my viewpoint. Melissa and Joe, with all their stuff, could just cordially show up. They're almost choosing not to show up is like a bigger thing. But on the flip side, there is that concept of like, well, Teresa, you may have had your problems, and why didn't they step in when Marge was saying what she was saying? But you still do the invite and you let the other person, make the error by not coming or coming. Yes. Now, the weird part, and I'll sound biased, but I'm not. I'm saying I don't think it was bad. I think it was a very healthy conversation to like brainstorm that. We really don't even feel like we should even be there, But to your point, it sucks that we already know the outcome that she did not go because I don't know. I don't have a problem with them having a brainstorming moment and then all of a sudden the the arsenal ends up happening, and then the accusation of like Melissa cheating on Joe, what that would do. You're already, if Melissa's already there emotionally and Joe's already there emotionally, like I'm now going to go to the wedding to save face again. Like that's what makes it complicated. So I agree with everything you say, but that would make it complicated. Like I would feel like I'm already bending over backwards. And and by the way, you're in on a rumor that kind of like wanted to discredit us. Like at this point, go have a nice life.
I understand that, but like I'm saying, sometimes cold and cordial is better than cutting it out. You know what I mean? It's better, and it's better for the kids. You want to be cold and cordial? Cool. At least you're good with my kids. I'm good with your kids. We're fine. I don't need to be around you. Mm-hmm. Hey, sis, let's go get lunch.
Yeah. Well, you're
sometime
right.
soon.
Just hey, go and almost, I won't say not support, but don't create more tension. Exactly. Next episode, maybe, or one of the episodes, maybe we'll do the episode when it's the big moment. We should maybe do a breakdown of what we think, just because there's a handful of people on one side of the aisle that are very like, Melissa and Joe are only eating off Teresa kind of a thing, which I'm just like, I've always said, and I'll keep saying it on this show, if this is their last season, these two are going to be successful. They're still gorgeous, both of them. They have a witty energy about them. I love listening to On Display. Nobody wants that to happen, but the bigger picture is watch yourself. It's not watch yourself, but watch yourself if it does turn into that thing, like that power that a lot of Teresa fans feel that they have because like she's the icon of the show, whatever the case. No one really takes well to the ultimatum in terms of like the cast members saying, I'm not going to film with this one or this one. So while it's all exciting right now for the Teresa fans, just know that might be building her, Teresa's fate, as you're not going to tell the network where to go and how to get there, because eventually that's not going to really do that well with Teresa. The only reason I think that they haven't had an issue, the network or the production, is because right now we're in it. We're in the wedding. There was nothing that could have happened on this season with every cast member that would have topped this wedding. Yeah. So Teresa kind of had that leverage, and I've said it before. I think she had used that leverage against everybody. She knew she had the biggest thing, and she was going to make everyone kiss the ring. So again, do it. I hope they actually just get a spinoff and go away and have their fans like that show. Yeah. But we gotta, as humans, we gotta be more confident. Russell and I, we have this quite a bit, I think. Although I was crying recently this week, but you gotta have the confidence. Like, I want the show, I want the success, but you're not gonna make me I'm never giving you the satisfaction. You know, what I like and what I want to aspire to and how much I'm going to play the game is fine. But if Andy Cohen is coming crazy at me, or I feel so, I have the right to like pop back off and say, excuse me, sir, don't be a pick me, you know, like have a little bit of self-confidence in what you do. And sometimes that self-confidence will lose you an opportunity. But if you believe in yourself and people like you already, you're going to win long term. I think. Am I wrong, Russell? I don't know.
No, I think you're right. But I also think that there's a lot to come next episode that this episode didn't bring. Like we said, this was like on my end, this was like a 4. It was great to see them travel. It was great to see them have it was great to see them have a good time, but at the end of the day, it's like, anyways, y'all.
They all look beautiful. I mean, here's the part where, because I know we're doing a recap, I'm always like, oh my God, I got to say something nice about Jen, or the ones that I don't enjoy as much. Yeah. I think Rachel in the confessionals was so funny. I think Danielle, while she was a little bit much with Rachel and Marge, and I feel like it's a little bit of in the confessional, she goes, I'm just going to back up. I'm not going to like keep going. She's kind of creating this personality that she not ran away, but removed herself from the situation twice because she said she would put hands on somebody, and that sucks. But like, you know, you end up not being present. And then even in this situation, she's like, I'm just going to stop because this. Like at some point, her big rah-rah actions have to match, I think. I don't know. I just want I want to cry.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Again, y'all, thank you for joining us this week. I know this was kind of a rough episode to get through in general, but you can find Ronnie Jr. on Jonesy in the morning, or Jones on the block with Jonesy for #1 throwbacks. 94.7. You can also stream that online as well if you don't have
Odyssey app. Yeah, and she's got new music coming out. She was the girl who sang I Wanna Be on Sugar Hill. It's a song in the 90s, like an R&B, like kind of like R&B hip hop song. It was amazing. She's having the first set of music.
We love R&B.
That's not a word. She's having, or it is a word, but not a phrase. She's having her first coming back into the music space, aside from just the fantastic morning show. So it's stuff is happening. It's going to be a good week around New York City, that's for sure.
Yes, y'all. And you can find me if you don't want to deal with your kids and you want to watch Housewives in peace. Just send them over to Create the Escape and let them watch other kids on television so that they can aspire to be what they want to be when they grow up.
Look at you in that clip giving your best Mark Consuelos, like I'm a TV host, like you better, with this image right here, you better. And for the record, Kelly and Mark is a rejuvenation for that morning show. I think it's so good, and I did not really feel like Ryan Seacrest was the right fit. I am all about Kelly and Mark. I may have had dreams about such things.
Yes,
it's two people who, if we have errors on our show, sorry, we're human, but it's two people who, Russell and I, on the basis of our friendship, we do talk quite a bit about broadcast and television shows and hosting and, you know, radio. It's just sometimes I really like to see, and she's a Jersey girl, you know, Kelly Ripa. When you get to flip on the TV and you get to see something really cool, it's nice to celebrate it. So I will manifest, whether you're watching this on a Monday or not, Manifest Monday is Randomly Ronnie Jr. will be a field correspondent on the Kelly and Mark show in New York City. Stuff is happening.
Yeah.
My life out.
We will see you next week. Thanks for joining us this week. Until then, leave us like, comment, subscribe, follow our pages. Check us out. Bye, y'all.
Bye.